Hi, everyone. I want to say welcome to Improve Life on this Gospel TV and Gospel Body Radio. Of course, my name is Dr. Jeff C. Innocent, your coach. And I want to say welcome to this second edition of Improved Life, where we have the opportunity to interact and have the opportunity to be able to share some uh, very important informations and nuggets that will help you to improve your life. Of course, the main purpose and goal of having this program is to help you discover the improved version of your life, not only to discover it, but also to live it. Last Friday, we started to talk about self-discovery and self-awareness, and we talked about um, being aware of yourself and being conscious of yourself. We talked about discovering who you actually are, who God has created you to be, and not what you're doing, but who you are. Being conscious of what you're doing and who you are, and what God has put inside of you. That is very important. It's the very first step that you're going to take if you want to take control of your life. Of course, remember, we are running a series on taking control of your life. And today we're going to move into the next step. And the next one is what I call self-acceptance. Remember, we just dealt with self-discovery and self-awareness. Now we're talking about self-acceptance, accepting yourself. This is very important. Of course, it is a very important thing to discover yourself. Or if someone once said that is the greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are, but the second is being happy with what you find. Now you made a self-discovery. You've been able to discover who you are. You've been able to discover your potentials. You've been able to discover the things that you have, your negativities and positivities. You've been able to discover all of that. Now, the question is, are you going to accept the result of the discovery? Are you willing to accept it? Are you willing to accept who you are? Not just accepting the positive part of your life, but also accepting the negative part. And so I went ahead and I said, accepting yourself will help you to eliminate the need of being accepted by others. That I said that this accepting yourself will save you the burden of needing others to accept you. It means that you got to learn to accept yourself. This is how I define self-acceptance before we move on. I need to read it out for you. It says self-acceptance is the ability to love yourself conditionally, no matter what flaws and traits exist. Ability to of yourself, not just the positive and the strength, the weakness, limitation. Not just the weaknesses and not just the strength, but also the limitation. Because, I mean, accepting your strength is common, is easy. But then where the problem is accepting your weakness as well. But self-acceptance goes beyond accepting your strength and accepting your motivation, accepting the positive part of your life, but it has to get to the point where you also have to accept your weaknesses. Like I said last Friday, I said you need to go back to your childhood. You need to go back to growing up. You need to be able to understand the things that made you up, the things that were able to stop into your life, the experiences you had, your failures and your success. We are in the human beings, so we are kind of more attracted or almost attracted or always attracted to success and not failure. And so we talk so much about our success. We get involved with successful people and not failures. But the truth of the matter is that failure and success all work together to make you up. That's why a man said the negative and the positive all will come together to produce power. Life is full of ups and downs, success and failure, appointments and disappointments. All of this put together. Every human got strength, and every human got weaknesses as well. So you don't just accept your strength and don't accept your weakness. You must be in the position to accept not only your strength, but also your weaknesses. Accepting yourself may go beyond this. Because there are things in your life that you know you cannot change. There are things in your life that you can change. Those are the things you worry about. He may change your situation, your financial condition, your relationship status. They are all changeable. You can adjust it from being single to being married, from being married to being separated, from being separated to being divorced. You can change it. You can change your career status from being unemployed to being employed. Those are the things that you can change. But there are also things in your life that you cannot change. You cannot change who your parents are. You can't. You cannot change your birthday. You cannot. You were not born twice, once. And that is the date. If you don't like it, that is it. There's nothing you can do about it. This is just it. And once you understand that some of those things in your life, you can change them. You can change the family you came from or the family that you are part of. You cannot change it. You can change your church. You don't like the way pastors are. Of course, churchgoers and church folks are almost like prostitutes that move from one place to another place, from one church to another place. But what I'm saying here, there are things in your life that you cannot change. And so if you cannot change it, you need to accept it. That's where the problem is. Because every time you try to change the thing that you cannot change, you get more frustrated because, of course, you cannot change it. Unfortunately, in our society now, people are trying to change who God would make them to be, changing from men to women, from women to men. Listen, you have to accept yourself, or nobody will. If you're looking for someone to accept you, you need to learn to accept yourself first. Be proud of who you are. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. Say to yourself, hey, I'm the best. I can do what others think that I cannot do. Don't try to live other people's life. Oh, how unfortunate will it be like that at the end of the day, by the time you've died and gone, you discovered that you actually didn't live your life. You live other people's life. Why? Because you were trying to please people. You were not proud of who you are. I know maybe you wish you were born in a white family, in a first family. You were born a white man, but you were black. Man, you got to accept it and move on. And get the best out of the situation where you find yourself. These are things you cannot change. Of course, maybe you were born in one of the poorest families in Georgia or in the United States, but you wish you were born in you were one of the Trumps, one of the. But you can't change it. This is where you are, and the good thing about it is that where you are going may not have much to do with where you're coming from. I tell people where I'm going has little or nothing to do with where I came from. Of course, that's the truth. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to accept yourself. People are finding it difficult to accept themselves. And at the end of the day, they're living other people's life, not their life. They live for others and by others. What about yourself? You are the best. You can't get better than this. This is who you are. Accept it and move on. Love yourself. People, we say, oh, love your neighbors as yourself. Listen to that statement very, 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 very closely. Look at it very closely, rather. It said, love your neighbors as yourself, which means you got to be the first object of love. You got to be the first. If you're finding it difficult to love people, check your self-love. That's the truth. Because when you fall in love with yourself, loving others becomes very easy. But this evening, I'm going to let you see three things that could help you, especially if you're struggling with accepting yourself. If you're struggling with accepting yourself, I'm going to show you 3 tips that are going to help you tonight. And I believe if you follow me closely and I don't know what kind of knowledge you have or whoever you are, but you're listening to me, but if you can put these things to work, you will understand or you discover at the end of the day that these things that help. These are things that helped me over the years when I'm struggling to accept who I am. I know what it is, especially when you have a very poor background and you came from that's a backside of life. You're not part of the society. You're not being counted. But yet you're trying to make it in life. It's kind of really difficult to accept who you are. But you got to accept who you are. And one of the things that I want you to remember is that you cannot successfully accept yourself if you don't first of all forgive yourself. That is just the foundation. There is no self-acceptance if you're unable to forgive yourself. No matter what it is you've done, the errors, the foolishness, the mistakes, the wrong decision, the bad choices that you made in your life, you got to forgive it yourself. And move on. Pick up your pieces, gather them together, and move on. You got to forgive yourself. Because in the first place, you're not even perfect. Nobody is. That's why I just can't imagine how people judge people. I've heard a lot of people trying to judge me. And I've heard people judge other people. Like, you can't judge me because you're not even better. And that's the truth. So you need to get to that point where you got to forgive yourself. I don't care what it is that you've done. Maybe you make the worst mistake, You hit it. I don't care what kind of foolishness that you've been part of in your life in the past. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you have to forgive yourself in order to do what? To move forward. You keep looking back at the thing that you did and you keep losing your self-worth. And once you're tampering with your self-worth, remember, you're going to lose self-esteem and self-confidence. Well, that's for another Friday. But I want to deal with this. Forgiving ourselves. First, before you can forgive another person. Have you discovered that a lot of people find it difficult to forgive people? Even husbands are finding it difficult to forgive their wives. Wives finding it difficult to forgive their husbands. It's not because their husbands are very wicked kind of person. No. They are demonic people. No. One of the major problems why they are finding it so difficult to forgive their spouses or partners is because they can't even forgive themselves. They can't even forgive themselves. God forgives you. Why can't you forgive yourself? Sometimes our problem is not that God is not forgiving us, but we've been forgiven, but we have failed to forgive ourselves. You keep reminding yourself. That's why when anything happens, you try to make reference to the things that happened in the past. I've heard somebody praying at one time, and God, I know it's because of this thing that I did. That's why. I mean, who told you God is interested in that? He's not interested in that. You need to work on your own self. Learn to move on. Very important. Remember, number one, forgive yourself. And then the second one, which I know is going to be very helpful to you today, is stop comparing yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself. Comparison. Because you focus on people and you focus on yourself. You guys may be doing the same thing. You may be doing the same businesses, running the same ministry in the same city, but this does not mean that you guys are the same. The last time I checked, There is no other you. You. No other you. You are the only one. If there is any better you, that better you is in you. I want to say it one more time. There is no better you anywhere but you. In fact, if there is any better you, then that better you is in you because you are the only you. So stop looking at someone else and look at yourself. Stop focusing on other people and focus on yourself, because every time you compare yourself with someone else, you are basically reducing yourself to the person's standard. You may think they are doing better than you, but you don't understand that you are on a mission. You have a dream. You have a purpose to fulfill. You are both of you on different missions. So there is no way both of you can be compared. No comparison. Don't use another person's success as a barometer to measure your own success. How can you do that? That's suicidal. You can't. I am who I am. My name is Dr. Jeffins. I'm a motivational speaker. And I'm a life coach. And there are millions of us. But does it matter what they do? No. What I know is what I do best. So I don't know who I'm talking to right now. The last time you checked, the reason why you are unhappy is because you compared yourself to someone. That's the reason for your unhappiness. Because every time you compare yourself to someone else, you feel they are doing better than you. They are more blessed than you do. And at the end of the day, it becomes so difficult for you to even accept who you are. And here now we are talking about accepting ourselves. That's why I tell people, listen, nobody is responsible for your happiness. Nobody. You are responsible for your own happiness. Stop thinking that your husband is going to make you happy. Stop thinking your boss is going to make you happy. Stop thinking your best friend is going to make you happy. Stop thinking your uncle is going to make you happy. You got to make yourself happy. And how can you make yourself happy when you are always looking on others, looking or focusing on someone else's success and focusing on what someone else is doing and not paying attention to what you are supposed to be doing? Listen, you got the gift. You are loaded with talents. You got a dream. Fight for your dream, because if you don't, no one else will. It's your dream. You have to fight for it. That's your dream. Fight for it. Forget about my dream. Fight for your own dream. And let me fight for mine. Stop comparing yourself to others. It doesn't worth it. They don't even have what you have. But because you're looking at your present situation and you're thinking, oh, this guy is doing well. He has a big car, live in a big house, and got beautiful families, and you think they are doing better than you do? You're kidding me. Because you don't even know what future holds for you. You don't even know what the future holds for you. Because I think if you know what your future looks like, you get excited even when you're not doing okay. You don't get intimidated. Listen, people that compare themselves to other people always get intimidated by other people's success. But you need to tell yourself, I refuse to be intimidated by anyone's success. I cannot. It makes no sense. It doesn't worth it. It doesn't worth the headache to be intimidated by someone else's success. And then the third one I'm going to leave with you before I go is that stop being your worst critic. and start being your best encourager. That's a very sound one. Words are powerful. And it's important to know and to be able to get to the point of realization that words are so powerful that it can kill, it can heal, words are just so powerful. And so you need to be careful the things you say to yourself because you are listening. That's the unfortunate part of it. People say stuff to themselves just like they are deaf. You're listening to yourself. Stop criticizing yourself unproductively, unconstructively. Of course, there should be constructive criticisms. But be an encourager. Encourage yourself. Tell yourself, yes, I can. Yes, I can. No matter who failed, tell yourself, yes, I can. Even though you missed it, tell yourself, I know I mixed it next time. I know I messed up next time. But I know I got some things that are going to help me to do it better. Ask yourself, how can I get better? And stop saying stuff like, I cannot get better. I cannot do this. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't. No, ask yourself, how can I? Because of course you can. You got what it takes. The ones that are doing it, they're not better than you. But you've limited yourself because, number one, you failed to accept yourself. Number two, you failed to forgive yourself. And number three, you are always criticized. You are the worst critics of your own self. Can you imagine being the worst enemy of your own self? And you want to blame everybody around you. The reason why things are not working is because someone listen, you need to learn to speak some good words to yourself. I learned it over the years. And I know how to speak to myself even when it's not working. I just launched a new business, and I know it's so tough on me right now, but I know I can. And I said to myself all the time, I can. Yes, I can. And I know I can. God be by my side, I can. Stop discouraging yourself and stop encouraging yourself. This is very important. We need to learn to encourage ourselves. Stop criticizing. Remember to take control of your life. Number one, you got to be aware of yourself through your self-discovery journey. And then number two, you don't think about being in control of your life if you cannot accept yourself. Accepting yourself means accepting your strength. Accepting yourself means accepting your weaknesses. And you cannot accept yourself if you don't forgive yourself. Very important. This is the most important part of it. Learn to forgive yourself no matter what you have done, no matter the mistakes of your life, no matter the errors that you've committed, the bad choices, the wrong choices. Remember, forgive yourself. Because if you allow your past to sneak into your present, it's going to make your present miserable and then make your future unattainable, unreachable. Today is the day that you have never seen before. And today is a day that you will never, never see again. Remember that and learn to forgive yourself. Learn to forgive yourself. And secondly, to be able to accept yourself. I said the first one, learn to forgive yourself. And then secondly, remember, be an encourager to yourself, not a critic. Be an encourager to yourself. Encourage yourself. Stop discouraging yourself. Stop criticizing yourself. You're killing your dreams. Stop criticizing yourself. And the third one, stop comparing yourself with others, to others. Stop. You are just you. And you are just unique. And there is nothing anybody can do about it. Because you are absolutely the best. The best that ever happened to humanity. That is you. So you have no reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever to compare yourself to someone else. Ask yourself these questions. Am I comparing myself with anyone? Ask yourself these questions. Am I forgiving myself enough? Ask yourself these questions. Am I encouraging myself? Or am I criticizing myself? If your answer is yes, awesome. But if your answer is no, then you need to start working on it. Because your happiness lies with you. No one is responsible to make you happy. No one but yourself. But you have to be able to accept yourself. You have to be able to love yourself. You have to be able to believe in yourself. And God will do the rest for you. But remember, you are the best. Always the best. Stay motivated. Stay encouraged. Well, this is how I'm going to end this edition of Improved Life. Join me again next Friday, the same station, right here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And I encourage you to love yourself, encourage you to accept yourself. And I look forward to talking to you once again on Friday. But remember, go on Facebook. You can follow me. Go and like my page, Improve Life. Or subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And God is going to bless you. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Dr. Jeff Innocent, your coach. And I'll talk to you on Friday. Until then, stay motivated and stay focused. God bless you. Bye-bye.